guys, Ken here, your Thrifty Apprentice. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Today, guys, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I know it's water soluble Wednesday. We will be concentrating on the water soluble product. We're going to be sort of doing a quick overview review of the Derwent Graphitint paint pen set. Going to kind of look at a little composition that I've done with them in order to kind of test them out, look at some swatches and those good things. And then I'm actually going to announce a giveaway for this particular pen set. So it turns out when I initially ordered them from Amazon, somehow I ordered two. Don't know how I did that, but that works out to one viewer's advantage because someone will be winning a brand new 12 count set. So let's jump into this really quickly. We're looking at the Derwent Graphitint paint pen set. It comes in, of course, pretty obvious pretty obvious to notify Derwent packaging. Unique blend of graphite paint with color for dramatic tonal work. Is what it says, and then it says the same thing in some other languages. There is an illustration on the front along with an image of what the palette looks like on the inside. The top says muted colors with graphite sheen, and then it says the same thing in different languages. Let's see here, Graphitint paint pen set 12. Pretty much given the same information, flipping over on the back. So the Derwent Graphitint paint pen set includes a unique blend of graphite with colors to create subtle muted tones with a graphite sheen. Fine graphite particles settle into the paper grain to create a myriad of effects. Apply on cold pressed watercolor paper to bring out pools of granulations and passage of tones and colors. The subtle and naturally muted color palette is ideal for urban and natural landscapes or expressive art. Contains 12 Graphitint paint pens, a mini water brush, a sponge, and 5 mixable palettes. And then, of course, it says all of that in other languages. Made in the UK. Distributed by Echo UK. Echo, I think I'm saying that right. Registered trademark of that particular brand, made in Britain. It gives the website. It gives the AP seal of approval. Only paints are certified. So I guess it's saying that that is only for the paints, not necessarily for the palette itself. All right, so that's what that looks like. Let's crack it on open real quick here. So you're going to get this travel palette. It is made of plastic. It is hinged with a snap fast closure here. It opens and closes pretty sturdily, pretty well. There's no issues with that, not hard at all. It's indented from where the hinge is. The wheels are going to be on top. Pretty compact, really ideal for sticking in your pocket, in a bag, in your travel kit. Really easy and convenient. Pop and open the palette. You're going to have those 5 little mini mixing wheels that they were speaking of. There is a sheet that shows all of the pigment, all of the paints, excuse me, including the paint names. Graphitint paint pen pocket set. So you do have that, and it's made of, not sure what this is, but I am sure that it's meant to kind of protect it in wet surfaces, just in case the paints are wet. But I don't think that's something you're going to have to worry about, and we're going to get to that in a minute. So you have half pans of graphite paint. They are put into these individual sets, and each individual set contains 6 half pans. Now, I'll be honest. I do not know. Let me get that out. Okay. It does seem to be a standard half pan. That'll even come on out. So I don't even think that they're glued in, or mine do not seem to be anyway. And then that would fit right back inside there. And there are 6 in each little section. So I guess if you wanted to remove these, you could use this palette, switch out other paint pans, or if you use these up, refill them with something, you could take these out and you could actually use putty or maybe glue and glue pans in there, even in the area with the water brush if you wanted to. Speaking of, it does come with a Derwent water brush. I didn't try this one because I have so many water brushes. And I actually painted with a regular synthetic squirrel when I use these. And of course, there is a sponge for travel purposes of wiping your water brush, cleaning your water brush, things of that nature. So there's what we have. Now, as you can see from the texture of the paint on top, you can actually see the sort of graphite particles that are in each one. I was doing some reading and some research on the paints. I did find out that all of those graphite particles don't necessarily show up with a gray sheen. Depending on the color, some of them may show up with more of a black tinted sheen. But either way, you'll get that sheen, and you do get a pretty decent range of muted colors. So since we've looked at that, let me just tell you, Derwent is a really decent company. Now you'll notice that we didn't see any light fast or any pigment information listed on the box or on the little insert. Now the site does say that the paints are light fast. There is like a downloadable PDF on their site that's going to give you the light fast ratings of their different products. Kind of hard to find in all honesty, but it is there, and they do it on the they do it on the blue scale. I think that's what it's called. I want to make sure that I'm saying that right. Of course, they've been around since the 1800s, and we all know that they're based in UK. They do wonderful things with graphite pencils, colored pencils, watercolor pencils. They have their ink tints line, which includes pencils, a pan set of this sort, as well as blocks, which we are eventually going to get to looking at. Other than this particular set of pan quote-unquote paints, if that's what you want to call them, they also make the metallic set and the pastel set alongside the Graphitint set and the ink tints paint set. Now, I said if you want to call them paint pans, because these particular paints are not formulated like regular traditional watercolors. They are not formulated with your standard gum Arabic binder. Therefore, they do not have that much flow, pretty much any flow in all honesty, if the truth be told. They're going to stay where you put them. And that in combination with the fact that they're in a travel palette probably makes them really good for like urban sketching, plein air painting, that on-the-go type scene when you're looking to paint really quickly. While I'm on that, I also touch on the fact that the paints themselves, due to their makeup, they drink water. Oh my God. They are so hard to re-wet, and you do end up doing a little scrubbing every now and then. But you will see from painting with these that you will wet the paint itself. You'll go to your paper to put down paint, and by the time you come back, they will have already dried. You're going to have to constantly re-wet them. Again, something I think that sort of leans towards making them great for like plein air on the go painting. Now the colors do dry pretty muted. Let's take a look at a swatch sheet. So I have swatched the paints out here. We're just gonna take a look at them. I'm gonna see if I can see it. And just overlook here. Up here I have the Boko Undo Shadow Black watercolor swatched, because I'm starting to work on sort of a comparison between the two. But right now we're simply just talking about the Graphitint. So I swatched the 12 colors out here. As you can see from those swatches, they have sort of a streakiness to them. They really kind of put me in the mind more of like a gouache than they do a watercolor. They have that heavy type of body that allows for coverage, and because they drink water the way they do and they dry so quick, it makes them really good for like painting in layers. But keep in mind, they're not like a traditional watercolor. They're more like gouache, so they tend to cover more with an semi-opaque or opaque coverage versus a transparent. So you're really going to be covering more so than glazing and being able to see those layers under it. So I do want you to keep in mind that they do work more like a gouache than like a traditional watercolor. As I said, they are semi-opaque, opaque. So, you know, don't expect, like I said, don't expect a lot of transparency. And that is something that you're going to have to get used to working with. I think they're probably going to, they pair really well with a gouache or like a watercolor crayon, something that gives you that more gouache effect. As you can see, that the paints are muted. They are not super bright and super vibrant. So they are going to lend more to painting those moody scenes that's going to make them really great for like landscapes, as I said earlier, urban sketching. They do work well with the water brush. I think that water brush would kind of be ideal for these, especially due to the fact that they drink water in a in a travel setting, that they drink water like that. Now they are going to leave sort of a residue. The paints are chalky. I'm going to tell you that. You can see here, as you can see, I'll just let you see, you can actually rub that. You see how it carries. They will smudge. They are chalky. You can see that actually on my finger. And that was from trying to remove the salt, because I did do a salt test. They do not react well to salt at all. There's not any like blossoming or blooming dispersion of the salt. It sort of sits there. You're going to have like these little hard crusted specks. So I don't think that they work well with salt at all. And of course, we always do a lift test together. So I did save this particular portion so that you guys could see this. But yeah, now just do be aware that they are going to be chalky. They are going to be streaky. They will smudge. And as you can see here, even after drying, you can pretty much wet that swatch all the way back up. Now, although you can re-wet it just like you can a gouache, they stain. They stain really bad. You're not going to be able to do a lot of lifting with this particular paint set. And I want to kind of give you guys everything that I've kind of discovered about them, because I want you to know what you're going into if you decide to add these to your collection, or if you happen to be the person that wins the set, if you're interested in entering the giveaway, because it's not a contest, it's a giveaway. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all of the physical attributes of the paint. Let's take a look at this. Now, this is the only standalone painting that I did with it, and I'm going to have to be careful. My suggestion, honestly, would be to spray anything that you do with this pan set with a fixative. I think it may sort of help eliminate some of the residue that'll come off when you're touching them. If you use them, of course, the suggestion is that you frame them under glass with a mat to keep the glass off of the painting and keeping any of the outside elements from affecting the glass, and i.e. affecting the painting. As you can see, muted, but I think that makes them really great for landscape. They mixed really well with each other. I was able to mix in a completely separate green from the one that came in. They mixed really well to make darker tones, blacks, shadowy feels. They again had a gouache effect, so I was able to like paint and then completely go back and cover that with something that I was painting moving forward in the foreground. You can actually see the texture in the paper from where they were put into really wet washes. I think that's gonna make them work well with like maybe granulating colors to help produce granulation and texture. I'm actually currently working on a granulating palette, and I'm trying to see how I may be able to work these into that particular palette. You guys stay tuned for that, because there will be a video coming up in the near future. They worked well with the bleed proof white, and I was able to get some pretty blended transition in the sky, blending those darker tones of blue into the lighter blue into the green. No problems with that. Just, you know, keep in mind it's not going to glaze a layer, it's going to cover. Yeah, guys, so that's pretty much that straightforward. Let me see, was there anything else I wanted to mention about this before we moved into the giveaway portion? I'm going to say this: I don't think these paints are for everybody. I'm going to be very honest. I definitely don't think that they are ideal for the beginner watercolorist. I do believe, however, that someone with intermediate to professional experience would figure out how to use them to the best of their abilities. I think a beginner would probably need a little bit more experience, not practice, because not necessarily practice in painting, but experience with different types of watercolors that work different types of ways before they would necessarily be ready to jump into using these, because they take a bit of patience. But you can pull off a nice composition with them. Now, the paints are currently $30.31 on Amazon, making them about $2.52, $2.53 per pan, which in all honesty, for what you get, I do feel like it's kind of pricey, which is why you guys saw me starting to work on like the comparison between those and the Boku Undo, again, which is coming. Now, like I said, I don't suggest them for beginners, but I don't necessarily not suggest the paints. Now, I did include that light fast chart at the beginning when I was talking about it like fast, so you guys can always go back and stop the video there in order to really get a general idea of what the light fast ratings for each are. And you can always visit Kimberly Crick's blog, as I tell you guys, when it comes to reviewing, in order to see up close the details of those particular tests for the particular, because this is a particular paint set that's on her site. So the giveaway is pretty easy, guys. Oh, and I will add, I was not able to find this set on Jerry's site. I did find a lot of Derwent Graphitint products, but not the paint set. I did want to throw that out. So the only place I've been able to find them as of yet would be Amazon. I am going to include that link in the video description. Okay, let's get to the giveaway. It is pretty easy. I have another set of these that I'm going to be giving away. It's real simple. You will make a comment in the comment section letting me know why you think these would be a good product for you and what you will possibly paint with them. Don't forget, you have to like the video and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, because I will be checking all of those great things with the random selection. Keep in mind that I will be announcing the winner on the channel in about 2 weeks. I'm going to say I'm giving a couple of videos and the opportunity, excuse me, to put up a painting with these on the channel, because I actually did this off camera, and the other projects that I've done with them was done off camera too. So I will be doing some on-camera work with these so that you'll get to see them in action as well. So just let me know those things in a comment. Like I said, in order to be entered, I will be doing a video. We'll be randomly selecting the winner. I will not reach out to you via email or via any type of messaging. It will be only done on camera, released on this channel. That way nobody will be able to scam you into anything. All right, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else about them at the moment. I hope and wish anybody interested in them entering the contest good luck. Anybody that's going to purchase them outside of the contest because you're interested in adding them to your art supply collection, please keep in mind all of the things that we did discuss. If by chance you liked any of that, or you learned anything, or whatever that made you happy, please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And both new and returning subscribers, please hit that notification bell so you'll be aware when other content comes out on these particular paints and the announcement video for the winner. Keep in mind that the video description is going to include all the relevant links. I am starting not to be able to talk, that you will need, including for the paints, most recommended product list, link for paints, pencils, pastels, and markers, which is the Thrifty Apprentice sponsored Facebook group where we do all things artsy and crafty. Please come join us. There's a link to the Etsy shop in case you decide you want to support the channel. Oh, and keep in mind that all links, well, not all links, but some links are affiliate links. It doesn't cost you more to purchase, but it does give me a penny or two when you purchase through those links to help me continue to bring you videos like this. All right, guys, thank you so very much. Good luck, friends, in the giveaway. I'll see you guys back here Friday. And remember, as I tell you at the end of every single video, just keep painting and crafting.